Hello friends, today we will do chapter number 2, Sectors of the Indian Economy. Sectors of economic activities: primary, secondary and tertiary. There are many activities that are undertaken by directly using natural resources. For example, the cultivation of cotton. Now let us talk about primary sector in detail. Primary sector. When we produce a good by exploiting natural resources, it is an activity of the primary sector. This is because it forms the base for all other products that we subsequently make. Since most of the natural products we get are from agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry, etc. This sector is also called agriculture and related sector. Second is secondary sector. The secondary sector covers activities in which natural products are changed into other forms through ways of manufacturing that we associate with industrial activity. It is the next step after primary. The product is not produced by nature but has to be made, and therefore some process of manufacturing is essential. For example, using cotton fiber from the plant, spin yarn and weave cloth. It is also called as industrial sector. Third is tertiary sector. There is a third category of activities that puts under tertiary activities and is different from the above two. These are activities that help in development of primary and secondary sectors. For example, goods that are produced in the primary or secondary sector would need to be transported by trucks or trains and then sold in wholesale and retail shops. Fourth, transport, storage, communication, banking, trade are some examples of tertiary activities. Since these activities generate services rather than goods, the tertiary sector is also called service sector. Now, next topic is how do we count the various goods and services and know the total production in each sector. First, for example, if 10,000 kgs of wheat is sold as rupees 8 per kg, the value of wheat will be rupees 80,000. The value of 5,000 coconuts at the rate of rupees 10 per coconut will give rupees 50,000. Similarly, the value of goods and services in three sectors are calculated and then added up. Next example, a farmer who sells wheat to a flour mill for rupees 8 per kg. The mill grinds the wheat and sells the flour to a biscuit company at a rate of rupees 10 per kg. The biscuit company uses the flour and things such as sugar and oil to make 4 packets of biscuits. It sells biscuits in the market to the consumer for rupees 60, rupees 15 per packet. Biscuits are the final goods, that is, goods that reach the consumers. Next topic is gross domestic product. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of sector for that year. The sum of production in the three sectors gives what is called the gross domestic product, GDP. GDP shows how big the economy is. In India, the mammoth task of measuring GDP is undertaken by a central government ministry. It is the value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year. Next topic is historical changes in sectors. First, over a long time, more than 100 years, and especially because new methods of manufacturing were introduced, factories came up and started expanding. Those people who had earlier worked on farms now begin to work in factories in large numbers. People begin to use many more goods that were produced in factories at cheap rates. Secondary sector gradually became the most important in total production and employment. Hence, over time, a shift had taken place. Next topic: primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors in India. Question number 1: why is the tertiary sector belonging and becoming so important in India? Answer: in any sector, services such as hospitals, educational institutions, post and telegraph services, courts, police stations, village administrative offices, etc. are required. The development of agriculture and industry leads to the development of services such as transport, trade, and storage. As income levels rise, certain sections of people start demanding many more services like eating out, tourism, shopping, private hospitals, schools, trainings, etc. Over the past decade or so, certain new services, such as those based on information and communication technology, have become important and essential. The production of these services has been rising rapidly. Question number 2: where are most of the people employed in India? Answer: a remarkable fact about India is that while there has been a chance to change in the share of three sectors of GDP, a similar shift has not taken place in employment. It shows the share of employment in the three sectors in 1972 to 73 and 2011 to 2012. The primary sector continues to be the largest employer even now. Question number 3: why didn't a similar shift out of primary sector happen in case of employment? Answer: it was because not enough jobs were created in the secondary and tertiary sector. Even though industrial output or the production of goods went up by more than 9 times during the period, employment in the industry went up by about 3 times. The same applies to tertiary sector as well, while production in the sector rose by around 5 times. Next topic is underemployment. When a field requires 5 persons and 8 persons are working on it, it is said that people are underemployed. Each one is doing same work but no one is fully employed. This is the situation of underemployed where people are apparently working but all of them are made to work less than their potential. For example, there are thousands of casual workers in the service sector in urban areas who search for daily employment, some of which are casual laborers, painter, carpenter, plumbers, and doing odd jobs. They may spend the whole day but earn very little. Next topic is how to create more employment. Take the case of Lakshmi, which has 2 hectares of unirrigated land. The government can spend some money or banks can provide a loan to construct a well for her family to irrigate the land. She will then be able to irrigate her land and take a second crop, wheat, during the Rabi season. Now suppose if a new dam is created to irrigate many such farmers, this could lead to lot of employment generation within the agricultural sector itself, reducing the problem of underemployment. Next topic is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Under MG Narega 2005, all those who are able to and are in need of work are guaranteed 100 days of employment in a year by the government. If a government fails in its duty to provide employment, it will give unemployment allowances to the people. The types of work that would in future help to increase the production from land will be given preference under the Act. Next topic is division of sectors as organized and unorganized. Organized sector. It covers those enterprises or places of work where the terms of employment are regular and therefore people have assured work. Workers in the organized sector enjoy security of employment. They are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. If they work more, they have to be paid overtime by the employer. They can get paid leave, payment during holidays, provident fund, etc. Next is unorganized sector. People here are less paid and are often not regular. There is no provision for overtime, paid leave, holidays, leave due to sickness, etc. Employment is also not secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. When there is less work, such as during some seasons, some people may be asked to leave. A lot also depends on the whims of the employer. Next topic is how can the workers in unorganized sector be protected? Answer: governments can fix the minimum wages rate and working hours. Government can provide cheap and affordable basic services like education, health, and food to these workers. Government can provide cheap loans to the self-employed people. Government can frame new laws which can provide provision for overtime, paid leave, leave due to sickness, provident fund, etc. Sectors in terms of ownership, that is public sector and private sector. The government owns most of the assets and provides all the services called public sector, which includes public parks, hospitals, police stations, railways, airways, etc. In private sector, ownership of assets and delivery of services is in the hands of private individuals or companies. Example: RIL, Reliance Industries Limited, and TISCO, Tata and Iron Steel Company Limited. Last but not the least, we have an important question. There are several things needed by the society as a whole, but which the private sector will not provide at a reasonable cost. Answer: some of these need spending large sums of money, which is beyond the capacity of the private sector. Second, also collecting money from thousands of people who use these facilities is not easy. Third, even if they do provide these things, they would charge a high rate for their use. Examples are construction of roads, bridges, railways, harbors, generating electricity, etc. Thus, governments have to undertake such heavy spending and ensure that these facilities are available for everyone. Now, let us have some question answers for the chapter. Question number 1. Name the three main sectors of an economy. Explain their main features with special reference to Indian economy. Question number 2. How do we count the various goods and services and know the total production in each sector? Question number 3. Give reasons why tertiary or service sector is gaining importance in modern world economies in India also. Question number 4. Compare the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors in India with regard to GDP and share of sectors in employment. Question number 5. Where are the most of the people employed? Explain the main characteristics of employment in primary sector. Question number 6. Suggest a few measures for creating more employment by giving examples from various sectors of Indian economy. Question number 7. Distinguish between organized and unorganized sector with examples. Question number 8. Compare and contrast the working conditions of organized and unorganized sectors in India. Question number 9. Distinguish between public sector and private sector by giving their main characteristics. Question number 10. Examine the significance of public sector with reference to Indian economy. Give examples where the involvement of government is must for economic development and why.